Hey guys, it's Sue. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and please consider subscribing if you like this build and want to see more like it. I also do Let's Plays, 100 Baby Challenge, and Let's Builds as well. So today we are doing a whimsical type cottage in the world of Windenburg. I wanted to make a tiny little cottage. Unfortunately, I was unable to make it work with the tile count for a tiny residential, so I think it was because of the porches and stuff that I made. So it is a small house, but is not really considered a tiny home in the Sims 4 world. It is in Windenburg, but of course you can put it wherever you want. The other thing that I did in this build that I don't normally do is I had the medium wall height on the build. For some reason, I just was not making it work with the small wall height because I had so many windows and archways and doors that I wanted to use that just need to be used on the medium wall height. I think what finally made me change is I end up using one of the Realm of Magic windows on the little bump out that is going at an angle there, and it just would not work inside the house with the small wall height, because sometimes you can do the little cheat where you make the walls medium, put what you want on it, and then shrink the walls back down and it fits, but it just did not look right inside the house. The window was going all the way down to the ground and part of the top was cut off. So I did do the tall wall height in here, even though I really didn't want to use it, but it's worked out okay and I think it looks okay, and you can always make your own adjustments to the build if you decide to use it. If you do want this build, it is available on my Sims 4 gallery, which I've got the name of that below, with all my other social media links as well. This build is called Whimsical Cottage on my gallery. It is 81,837 simoleons, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Please turn on move objects before placing this house, especially this one. I did a lot of move objects in this build. I also use a lot of the things from the debug menu that you will find here. I think the fencing and everything that I used is all from debug. I also made a little pond in the background, which uses a lot of debug landscaping. So I had trouble trying to figure out a color scheme for these windows. I kind of wanted like gray windows, but that also looked kind of like whimsical and old-timey, and I was having a lot of trouble finding them, so I kind of feel like I just kind of had to throw out some colors there, so I do end up using these blue windows that I have on there right now. But once I've got vines growing up it and some more decorations on the house and things, I don't think it stands out as much as it looks like it does right here. That window that is on the little sideways bump out over there is the window that I was talking about. So from the outside it looks like it's going to be okay, but once I go inside the house, you see that that window goes all the way down to the ground, so you couldn't even set anything in front of it, and then it was also cutting off at the top. So I did end up using it. So I really liked what I was putting these little awnings over the windows, but the problem was that I thought it looked too much like a face in the end, so I think I end up doing something to make it not look as facey. I think I actually take those off completely. Even though I like the way they look, when you back out and look at the house from far away, it looks like a face, and it was annoying me. I had to get it off of there. So the part up there that has the little circle at the top with the windows, that is part of the master bedroom. The upstairs is basically bedroom and bathroom. Downstairs is living room, kitchen, and dining room. There is only one bathroom in this house, and it is upstairs. So if you do want to use this in some gameplay, you can always try to add a bathroom downstairs if you want. But I just could not make it work downstairs. So right now I'm working on the landscaping. You'll see me pull up the debug menu. Hopefully I cut out some of that where I'm scrolling through the debug menu. But usually what I end up doing is just scrolling through the debug menu right away in the beginning and just taking anything out of the debug menu that I think that I might want to use, and I set it aside. So you might see me do that here. That's just to save me from constantly placing, going back to the debug menu, placing, going back to the debug menu. I just find that that's an easier way to work with it. I do know that there is a mod you can use that opens up the debug menu so that you have like 5 or 6 rows instead of just 2. I've seen Little Simsy use it, so I may end up getting one of those because it is very difficult to use the debug menu. Sometimes if I'm going for a certain theme or something like that, like this would be more like a Realm of Magic pack or a Get Together pack, something like that, I might just filter by that to grab that stuff out of it. But right now I am doing what I was telling you. I am pulling things out of the debug menu that I may want to use and moving them to the side somewhere. So that is not their final placement. And some of these things I might not even end up using, but I just want to be able to have it there in case I want to use it. I'm building my pond right here, which I have to laugh when you play test with ponds that you make. You're technically using a pool tool, and your sim will sometimes just start swimming in this gross, dirty pond water with all kinds of weeds and all kinds of things around it, but the game thinks it's a pool, so your sim jumps in there. So that might happen once in a while if you use this build, and if it annoys you, you can always take the pond out, but I always think it adds a little something to the build, makes it a little more whimsical, a little more fun, and whatnot. So not moved on to the inside yet. I think I was having trouble figuring out what path I wanted to use. I started off with a tile or wood, not wood, but stone, and I realized that I didn't want it to be so like right angles, so clean looking. I wanted it to look more magical or something. So I did the little curved path and moved the opening to the fence so that it was moved over a little bit. I just thought that it gave the build a little something extra, I guess, because this build definitely is not one that I would want to use clean lines and modern furniture and decor and things like that. So I wanted to make it look a little more rustic, I guess you could call it. So that's why I did that. And I do believe that I fill in this area that's near the house there with a lot of landscaping. I think I just kind of layer it up and everything so that it looks very gardeny and whatnot. So this save file is in fall, so I had to take a few photos in fall, which always kills the landscaping. And then I also moved the house to another save file that was in summer and took a few more photos. I really wish that build mode, this is what I want. I want build mode to have a tab mode, so that I don't have to have a sim on the lot to take good photos. I want to be able to change the season just like you change to night and to day and things like that, because I want to take pictures in multiple seasons. I don't want to have a sim on the lot unless I'm playtesting, which I do playtest all my builds, but it is very irritating when I just want to take some good photos and it's raining outside and I have to just play through the day so that the rain stops. And I do know there's that weather machine, but it's a pain in the ass to use. It doesn't always work. And depending on the save file that I'm using, my sim does not have like the skills needed to have the weather machine change seasons and things like that. And I know you can cheat all that stuff, but it's all just a pain in the ass. Like, just make it so that we have tab mode in build mode and that we can change seasons and weather based on what we want the house to look like. I mean, it seems obvious to have it there if you're like, well, I want to see what this house looks like in the fall or the winter. I want to see what it looks like when it's raining outside. You would think that that would just be like obvious to put in there, but this is EA we're talking about. So yeah. I think that possibly I might close out this voiceover now. Most of this build is outside. Once I move inside, it's so small inside that it doesn't really take that long to build. The longest part was just cluttering things up and things like that. But placing furniture and painting and stuff did not take long at all. So 99% of this video is outside, the rest is inside, but I think I'm going to close out with some music now. And I believe that this is a Monday build. Let me check actually, because I think I was wrong in the last video. And I said see you. Yeah, so this is a Monday build, so I will see you guys on Thursday.
The one that you've been dreaming of, with dirt underneath my fingernails and worn out shoes. I never thought that I would fall for someone like you, an uptown without a single care in the whole wide world. But I don't wanna run away from you, 'cause baby I am done hiding my love for you. So please won't you run away with me, 'cause you can't control who you fall for. No. When the world is asleep, then we can meet. The secret life that we share with the stars and the moonlight. And when the morning comes with a brand new day, then we have to pretend that we don't know each other. But I don't wanna run away from you, 'cause baby I am done hiding my love for you. So please won't you run away with me, 'cause you can't control who you fall for. Because you can't control who you fall for. No. Searching for something that ain't lost. Have we got our lines crossed? We're wasting time on stuff that doesn't really matter.